stuck? People outside our profession often ask me, why are pharmacists so unhappy? I reply with a question. Have you ever felt trapped for an extended period? Sometimes people can relate and offer an empathetic example, and other times they confess that they too feel stuck. The honest, or lucky ones, reply with, not really. So I explain to them, being a pharmacist can feel as though you're trapped. Management does not care. Your manager doesn't have your back. Upper management makes decisions you think are more aligned with profit care or number care, a concept we'll be discussing shortly, rather than health care. You feel like your leaders have hung you out to dry. Your boss may listen to your complaints and respond with a little corporate rhetoric, but nothing changes. It's like they want you to fail at your job. The people we serve do not care. On top of management not caring, your patients have no patience. While, of course, the vast majority of those who step up to your counter are polite or at least civil, the rude ones can ruin your whole day. They demand their medications immediately and blame you for their problems. You feel more like you're an employee at a corporate assembly line than a doctor of pharmacy. Hello, welcome to McPharmacy. How may I help you? Patients seem unaware that you're a doctor. Some people don't even know hospitals have pharmacies. Your coworkers feel the same. Your coworkers are just as miserable and miserable to be around as you. I have felt the wrath of a bully manager and bully coworkers. I've been let down by unreliable colleagues who create more work through their inattentiveness and laziness, by unreliable technicians who make the job harder rather than easier, and broken promises from management. The onslaught of disrespect comes from all sides. Everyone is unhappy, it seems like, and it only compounds in what feels like a prison of professionals and technicians. Your colleagues blame you for everything. Nurses, doctors, PAs, NPs, dentists, and everyone else in between can't believe you're making their job more difficult. Why can't you just approve the script? They demand. Your job is to make sure medications are safe for patients, but the medical team and the patient don't seem to care about that. They just want you to hand over the drug. Every pharmacist can tell a similar story, but rarely do I meet a PharmD who feels like she can walk away. Whether it's school debt, the job market, fear of failure, or family considerations, leaving the job doesn't feel like an option. After I explain all of the problems that I just listed, a stranger that asks the question about why are pharmacists stuck typically looks at me with wide eyes and says, I had no idea. And to that I reply, most non-pharmacists don't. The culture of pharmacy and the mindset it drills into its pharmacists is a unique beast. A financial prison. While there are a number of reasons pharmacists feel stuck in their unhappy jobs, the biggest by far is the school debt that they're working to pay off. Academia has the USA by the gonads. Currently, Americans owe $1.48 trillion in student loans. And the average student loan for the graduating pharmacist in 2017 was $163,494, according to the AACP report. When I speak with students, I can feel and hear their angst. They're starting their careers in a financial hole, and they know that hole will only get deeper. School debt claims its percentage of every paycheck, and then rent, and the car payment, and the credit card balances, and eating 3 times a day take their share. After doing a residency or picking their first job, young professionals are encouraged to buy a home, whether by family or by society, and likely double their loans, locking themselves into another $1,000 to $3,000 monthly payment. On top of this, there are the demands to save for retirement, for which take away from their funds to pay off this crippling debt. Here's the flow of the financial trap. Graduate, crippling student loan debt payments come due, seek job to pay off those debts. Well, buy a home, mortgage payment ranging from $1,000 to $3,000 monthly payments. Start a family, further increasing expenses. Forced to stay in job to pay off those loans. Prolong the time to financial freedom by investing in retirement now, depending on how much investing is done. The way I see it, owing thousands of dollars a month to loans and other commitments is worse than a trap. It's a financial prison that robs unhappy pharmacists of the freedom to find more fulfilling work. Sadly, most find themselves in a state of financial tug and war, wanting to be debt-free, wanting to invest now so they can quit ASAP, wanting to quit but unable to afford their lifestyle. And the only winner in this story is their employer and the people who are getting the money back from their debts. Living paycheck to paycheck is no way for the pharmacist to build a valuable career. So, how can a burned out pharmacist escape from his job when he desperately needs to maintain his expenses? My wise friend Hans Boatin, PharmD and MBA, believes that you should invest now to reap the benefits later. And I agree with him to an extent, but I also think it's important you aggressively pursue a valuable career and financial freedom. If you agree, then you decide which do you want first. Freedom from a loan payment to be able to do whatever you want, or reap a rich retirement fund 30 to 40 years from now, perhaps earlier if you follow the FIRE philosophy, financially independent, retire early. Retirement investment is essential, obviously. I'm a big fan of investing now and did so during my miserable job. But I used the majority of my income to eliminate my debt so that one day, if I wanted to, I could quit my job. And yes, that meant sacrificing some creature comforts, but my financial freedom was a bigger priority than going out to dinner all the time. Today, my monthly expenses equate to about $22,000 per month. Our house is paid off, student loans are gone, there's no car payment, and we have a 6-month emergency fund. I quit my traditional job with a pension in August 2018, and I haven't looked back. My business creates more than enough to cover my monthly expenses, so now I have a lot more money to invest for retirement. The lesson here is that no matter how daunting it may feel to think about leaving your job or seeking a new career path, you do have options. You can take action today and break yourself out of the trap. You're not stuck. And a side note, this isn't financial advice, nor would I ever claim that this book holds great financial advice that you should consider. I'm not that guru. What's most important is that you figure out what your priorities are. If investing in a retirement now is the priority, well, then you need to make those financial decisions so. You don't want to approach big financial decisions with fear and wondering what's going to happen next. And I know lots of pharmacists that pursue the FIRE philosophy. In fact, one pharmacy acquaintance of mine who is a runner recently achieved FIRE, and he wrote about his journey on Reddit. I'm sure if you just type in Reddit, pharmacists, and FIRE, you'll find his story. He blogged most of his journey, and it's very encouraging to see this. But your finances are only a tool, and you need to use them as such. The source of your income should never be something that is causing you so much pain. I hope you enjoy this as a listener, that I'm kind of practicing some of these ideas that I've been fleshing out in my mind. And one of them is a simple analogy. Imagine that you are only making $70,000 a year. That's more than enough money to be happy with what you have, and it allows you to have vacations. And let's imagine that in this job, you love every single day. You love going to work. You love doing the work. You love helping other people. You're getting so much satisfaction from this work. You're getting so much joy in your life, and it's something that you want to do for the rest of your life. When you think about retirement, the first thought that comes to your mind is, well, yeah, maybe I'll not work 40 hours a week, but I still want to do this. This is my life. This is my calling. I love it. And let's say that I come along. I'm Mr. Manager at big company X, and I want to give you double your salary, $140,000 a year. But guess what? Every day, you're going to dread going into work. Will not enjoy the people that you serve. In fact, you'll be disrespected often. Your colleagues are not that much fun. You don't find satisfaction in your work. You will come home drained, exhausted, and worried about the next day. You'll be anxious because you'll see corners being cut all over the place. And you'll wish that you could get another job being paid the same amount somewhere else. Would you take that job? Most people, when I describe this analogy in like a coaching session, say absolutely not. But that's our situation we find so many people in. I'm not saying that in order for you to find a fulfilling career, you have to take a job cut. But that is a possibility. There may not be a job out there where you're doing the work that you love, that you're getting the paid same amount. Now, I've seen clients take new jobs that are pay cuts. Some people take significant cuts in their pay. We're talking $20,000, but others receive increases. But here's the thing that's so short-sighted about this idea about losing money right away is that, yes, maybe you take a new job and it is less money, but think about all the freedom that you have. Tracy, one of my clients that I talk about in this book, was a retail pharmacist for 10 years. Burned out, hated her job, felt like in our first coaching session, she didn't even know if she wanted to do pharmacy anymore. Well, I was able to help her get into an emergency preparedness job working for the state government. She loves it now, and she gets to work from home like 1 or 2 days a week. By having this new job, she feels like she has the mental capacity and energy and time to dedicate to a new thing that could make more money. People often talk about, well, I'd love to work in academia, but I don't have a residency, and plus they don't pay as well. Well, what most people don't even consider is all of the side hustles academics have going on where they are making probably more money than you in retail. The point that I want to make here is that money is not that important. Your happiness should not be based on how much you make, because whenever it is, you can never have enough money and you'll always want more. My friend, truly assess where you're at with your finances and make some tough decisions. If you're married, have some tough discussions and ask them, is the money worth it? Is all of this money that I'm making worth my mental health? Is it worth my misery? Is it worth how I feel? And hopefully you, or if you're married, your spouse or your partner or whoever you're with, can help you come to the same conclusion that this is not the way to live a life, that you need to pursue something else and put aside the worries about money. Because whatever your new job is, if it's satisfying, it's something that you love, you will not care about the money. Instead, you'll be motivated by the joy of doing the work. And yes, you can always make more money. Don't worry about that. All right, I'm going to get off my pedestal now.